I was watching one of Hamza's videos a while ago and he said this.
Because there is certain truth to that biological argument of like, if you're constantly ejaculating, whether it's with porn, whether you're masturbating, whether it's with sex, your brain and your body kind of understand that you have achieved like the purpose of life. You know, we always kind of ask that question, what's the purpose of life? And it's kind of simple, is to reproduce. Now we can add, as man, like as humans, we can add extra purpose to life. We can create like stories for ourselves, but the purpose of every like living organism is just to reproduce. And so when your brain and your body feel like you have ticked off the box of reproduction because you're constantly spilling your seed, you get lazy, you get complacent. You don't need that drive anymore. But what if you withhold? What if you stop fucking spilling your seed everywhere like a dumb little monkey?
What if you stop spilling your seed everywhere like a dumb little monkey? So Hamza is right about this, and I wouldn't be surprised if you guys know it too. But why is it that as men we stay addicted to these things, like porn and jacking off? And some people even have subscriptions on things like OnlyFans. Well, I think there's a few reasons. I think obviously number one obviously has to be mental health. I mean, we can literally see the statistics and the graphs and the overall downward trend in mental health. And do you think someone who has perfect mental health watches people having sex through a screen pretending they're doing it? But the problem here is that our brain actually thinks we are doing it. Our brains have these ancient instincts, and that's why so many people struggle with unhealthy eating and why there's an obesity problem all over the whole world. It's because thousands of years ago we needed these sugary and fatty foods to survive, to sustain ourselves, because we never knew when the next meal was. But now we live in a world where we have enough food to survive, but our brains still tell us to eat the sugar and the fatty foods every chance we get. But there's a massive abundance of unhealthy food everywhere we go now. And now these companies are using scientists to formulate these perfectly formulated recipes to fire off the feel-good chemicals in our brain so we keep eating. These fast food and junk food corporations are literally using our own brains against us. And I don't know about you, but that actually just makes me mad. In the same way that part of our brains tell us to eat junk food and it's okay and that we need it, part of our brain and body actually thinks we're having sex when we're watching porn. And when our brain and body think we're getting an abundance of sex, we get lazy and complacent. Because your brain thinks you've completed life's goal. But you have not. You're alone and depressed. You don't get anyone, but you got your hit of dopamine, so everything's all good, right? As I said at the beginning of the video, the main reason people struggle with their sexual discipline is because of mental health. And I'm not a mental health expert, but I'll tell you this. About 2 months after doing these mental health practices, I have not really struggled with NoFap at all, to the point where I actually forget that I'm doing it. And the things that I've done to improve my mental health are daily meditation, daily exercise, and daily gratitude journaling. These are very important. And I strongly recommend everyone watching to do these 3 practices every day, and if you stick to it, I promise you'll see results. There's one more thing that I want to talk about, and I'll end up the video, and that's why does the Western society promote sexuality so much? To the point where in some places it's being taught in kindergarten to children. I see so many people and all over social media saying it's okay to watch porn and that it's a normal way to explore your sexuality. And that's even healthy. No, it's not. Watching porn should not be normal. There's a video by a YouTuber called Cav67. He made a video titled "Giving Up Porn is a Cope," and he was responding to a comment that said giving up porn is a cope. And he kind of goes into this topic about how it shouldn't be normal in society to do these things. But that video highlighted to me how normalized porn is, to the point where people think not watching it is a cope. But if you think about it, watching porn and jacking off is the real cope. And if you're still struggling with NoFap, I would 100% recommend watching the NoFap guide by Hamza. I'll put it down below as well if you're interested. Okay, so thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, I'd appreciate if you liked and subscribed, and yeah, thanks. See ya.